Hello, and today's video we're going to be dis- discussing the last part of teaching my mum Yu-Gi-Oh! She played at the Duelist Advance pre-release event that happened this weekend. There will be a box opening, but that'll be a separate video and might have already gone out by the time this video goes out. So, we'll get into the pack openings for participation in this in a minute. But just before we start, just a discussion of how pre-release works. We don't. So you get five of the new sets packs. We now some places will draft with them, so you open the packs and you build a deck from them and then play. We don't at mine. We play as if it was Hobby League, and we just get them as prizing. And then there's a winner wins a mat. Someone else gets a mat from a raffle, and the a promo card is also given out by raffle, which I was lucky enough to win this week. There's 16 of us, so there's 4 rounds, and yeah, it was Mum's first experience within playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So we'll have a discussion about that. So first of all, do you want to say what deck you were playing?
Yeah, so I was playing Invoked Blue Eyes Dragon. I spent quite a bit of time practicing. The way I like to learn is with spreadsheets and flowcharts. So we put the spreadsheet together, which shows what cards links to what. It's been a really interesting process, but oh my goodness, it's complicated. It's a lot to learn, a lot to remember. What card links to what, so hats off to anybody that plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you must all have amazing memory banks.
Side note, we will get the spreadsheets up on the channel at some point for Blue Eyes. It just needs a bit of tinkering when we've got time before we upload it. So first of all, how did you feel before we started playing, when people are coming in?
Yeah, it was nice. It was a relaxed atmosphere. Everybody was very welcoming. It was really friendly. I knew I wasn't going to win, so I didn't go there to win. I think I went mostly there to sort of play against people I never played before, play against packs I never played before, and see whether I could still remember my links and what links to what and what cards to play in what order. But yeah, so the run up to it, I think I was fairly relaxed. He wasn't going to win, so I wasn't that was never going to be an issue. Yeah, so I think that's sort of.
Yeah. So I'm just getting up the list of what you played against because
yes.
I stored it on my phone and forgot to transfer it anywhere. So 4 rounds, you played against Mitsurugi Raisil,
Yep.
Punk Fiendsmith,
Yes.
Kaiju Gizmek Fairy Tale,
Yep.
and White Forest.
Yes.
So you don't need to go deep about any of the specific matches, but overall playing, how did you find it? Remembering stuff?
Yeah.
How did you find opponents?
Well, they were all quite different decks.
Yeah.
They all played very differently. I was quite lucky. I didn't actually brick, which I was expecting to, so I could at least play something. And I remembered that Availer was my emergency start card, which I did remember and I did use.
That's good.
So I didn't brick in any of the matches. Some of them were quite quick, but it was interesting playing different packs. So I think the Punk, that was my favourite. That was really fun to play
Yeah.
against.
Yeah. Punk, for those who don't know, there's a bit of life burn to Punk to kind of do a lot of attack, so it's different. It's had new support in Battle of Legends, but we don't get that until end of August. Just a side note.
The first one, the
Mitsurugi Raisiel.
Ryziel. Oh my goodness, they've got a huge pack. They play with a huge pack. I seem to need the huge pack, but it's like
Yes.
I have enough trouble remembering what a small pack does.
Yeah, the difference between 40 and 60 and what you've got in there is.
Yeah.
But
again, it was an interesting
yes.
experience playing against somebody that's got such a,
Yeah.
That they seemed to know what was in there. So
Yes.
Yeah, the White Forest one, that was a really interesting pack. Again, that's another pack where there's lots of long combinations.
Yes.
So it was fascinating watching this go to this and this go to this and then these two. So it was sort of like a much longer version of Blue Eyes.
Yes, there is. There were a while ago. There were ways of putting Blue Eyes into Centurion and White Forest, but you just run the synchro package because, as you say, it does kind of work,
Yes.
and there is some similarities.
And the Gizmek one, that was like a slightly different one.
Yes.
There was, there was some sort of interactions and interfusing, but not as much.
Yeah.
I sort of particularly noticed it with the White Forest one. So
Yeah.
it was interesting to see the different packs and how the different played. So that was really interesting.
And it's nice to see at locals not everyone playing the top meta decks. I did go up against 2 Mitsurugi Raisiel players before I went up against none, but that's just the nature of this format. What I know you want to discuss this more, but people had discussions with you afterwards.
Yeah, so everybody was really friendly, and people did it different ways. So some people said after we finished, you should have done this or thought about this, and some did it as we were going along. They were really patient with me and saying, you might want to use this card and this effect from your card. So that was really good. They were all really helpful. I still didn't win any matches, but it was I learnt a lot, I think, and I think it was interesting playing different players. I quite often had to read my cards in order to help, but it was it was interesting because they were really helpful, and I think it helped fix a few more things in my mind. I think each time I play, something else gets added. I did have one player that was like I managed to remember to do the get to the Makaba. And he was like, oh, not sure about that one.
And I think that's the thing. We have got quite a good group where I play, and there is a lot of helping new people, and because predominantly locals is for fun. We're not a nationals YCS worlds. People are more likely to get with new people. Well, actually, just do this instead, just because you're learning. There's no pressure for anyone to win anything big. It's not going to affect people in the grand scheme of things. So, and if anyone can help new people, it's always a nice thing for the community to do. Obviously playing, because you did a lot of testing against me, obviously playing, how did you find remembering stuff?
I forgot some stuff. So it's quite a different than playing relaxed at home, playing against people you don't know, playing in a different environment. But I did remember some of it, and there were points I thought, oh no, I've got to do such and such. But overall, I remembered, I think, most of it. There were one or two places where my mind went blank. I was like, oh, I can't remember what to do.
Yeah, because I was trying not to hover around because I didn't want to make put you in a position where you were wanting to forget or be tempted to ask or whatever. Yeah. But no, so there's a few times I'm like, oh, maybe she wants to get that off board. No, okay. Particularly with the link one.
Oh, I kept forgetting the link one.
That's easy enough when you've gone, well, I've got this, but I didn't use this effect because I already had Mausoleum in hand, which is, I think, when you mostly did it, was because you weren't thinking about the card, because you went, play Mausoleum, normal summon, make the Spirit. You then kind of forgot it had effects because you hadn't picked it up to read, but that's learning.
Yeah. there's also a lot around the etiquette of the game.
Yes.
So it's not just playing the game and what you cast, it's sort of remembering main phase. Main phase, and then battle, and then there's second, and then passing it across, and making sure you've got your cards up the right way. Remembering. Oh, I did remember every time I'd been through my deck to hand my deck across to be shuffled or cut. And some people prefer to shuffle.
Yeah.
Some people prefer me to shuffle and then cut it, but I just went with whatever the other person wanted.
That's the thing. As long as you're both doing something, because I know you didn't, but I have had it where I've played a fence and people have gone, I won't cut. I've seen you shuffle it. That's good enough for me.
Yes.
That is player preference, but give the etiquette. Give them the choice. Don't be like, oh, you're gonna do this, because they might want to know, why are you doing it? Are you stacking your deck? Which people have been caught out doing at various events. So no, it's just nice and neat to use the etiquette.
Yeah, so but it was interesting, and I was quite pleased. I remembered some of the etiquette and some of how to play my pack. So I've seen it as a success, even though I didn't win any.
Oh, I mean, you did, because of how rankings work. You did finish ahead of me.
I did.
So
I was not expecting that.
With Swiss, don't quote me how it works. If anyone understands it better, please comment so I understand. But there's something to do with pairings, and if people higher up did certain well or something, it affects how you do. As I say, don't understand it. If anyone does explain and understand, please comment below so I can. But no, it was
That's good
really good.
I enjoyed it.
The other thing, not really to do with this, but kind of to do with pre-release. Did you notice the way people were kind of getting really excited over boxes and opening?
Yes, that was interesting. So every time anybody got a box and they started to open it, a huge group of people would be surrounding them. Oh, what's in your box? What's in your box?
Yeah, it's always fascinating because it's the what will they pull. Now, some people do it because they're after certain cards, so they're hoping to see them. Others are just curious, kind of like when I'm about to do my box opening. It's kind of like that, but in person. So there's just this general hype, for a better word, around new product for players, because you open the packs, it's exciting. What do you get? As we're about to do. Because we got 5 packs each. We'll open these on stream, and then I'll let you have any other thoughts afterwards. So go to desk. So I'll open mine first and then show you how we open the packs. So on screen, doesn't always work, but you should be able to just. No, it's not going to work. In theory, you should just be able to split down the middle, but if you just tear what the corners just carefully, you have enough gap to do it. And I know in Pokemon, people will say, oh, you pull the last one to the front because it's the energy. We're not doing anything fancy. We just turn it to the front, and then we'll go look through. So we've got Crossmind Archfiend. I'll have a proper look at some of these later in my other video. I'm just looking through for now. Archmage Masterwork, so one of the new archetypes in this deck. Ooh, Angry Burger. Fits in the Hungry Burger archetype, new support I wasn't aware of. Heroic Champion Excalibur, so an XYZ. Morgana, the Witch of Thighs, so I've got more of the Morganite cards. Moon Gardener, Return of the Duelist, Spirit Poacher, and New Fells Recipe Book. As I say, I'll have a proper look at some of these in the box opening, because I'll probably open them, and I don't want to sit through reading every single effect in this video. Highest rarity is always somewhere in the middle of the pack. So I've got a Fairy Saturn, a Chef for the New Fells, Absolute X1 Kicker, Hush Sidekick Minister, Gargagai Utopic Tactics, I know people who are after those, Shipping Error, Regenesis Commands, another Return of the Duelist, and Moon Magician. Wake Cup Matcha. There's a lot of food ones in these. Super Quantum Blacklear, Prototype Psychic Blaster, Chef Nifelsgen, Mind Procedure, Moon Gardener, Archmage Pack Awakening, Psychic Omnibuster, Miracle Raven. Ah, that was one of the new ritual stuff that could be interesting to look at. I need to have a proper look at the archetypes after I'm done. Miasma Dragon. Ooh, Destina support. Didn't know they're getting any. Gaia Stream the Graceful Force, Dark Fair Swordsman, Archmage Power Patron. Ooh, the Monarch's Revolt. That's looking nice. Spring. Teleport Fusion. XYC Lay. Southern Thunder Swamp. As you can tell, I have not read through the full list, so I've got no idea what to expect in some of these. And last of mine. And then I'll let you open yours. Just watch now she pulls something really high rarity. Leo Wizard Dark Fiend, another Angie Burger, Gaia Stream Graceful, Armitage Vandalism, ooh, Silent Psychic Magician, the Monarch's Master Plan, Moon Magician, Mutiny in the Sky, and Archmage Pack Awakening. So, if you want to take a seat, careful it to spin.
Okay.
I'll just move these just there.
Right, let's see. Number one.
You don't have to read out the names if you don't want to. That's just.
Oh, I'll see whether I can read them. I haven't got my glasses.
So you've got an Absolute Axon Kicker,
Yeah.
an Heroic Champion, Magnum Excalibur, the Star Ham.
Another food one.
I am, well, it's a hamster thing, but yeah. Serene Psychic Girl, Silent Psychic Magician. Again, it's fine. We'll sort that out. Armitage Pack Awakening. Yeah, they're fine. Layer 19, Sudden Incursion, Super Quantum something. Black, I think. That's got a lot of small text. Teleport Fusion. Steel Stringed Sacrifice. I know somebody mentioned that card. I can't remember why. It was in relation to a deck. We're talking online.
Next back. Oops. Okay.
Prototype Psychic Blaster. Wake Cup Mucker.
Another food one.
Fallon the Super Psy Sky Blaster.
Good luck with that one.
Yes, I'll have a look at that one later. RBGA 10 Cutter. XYC Lay. Inferno of the Ashant. Spirit Poacher. And Brio the Dawn Slide.
Okay. Next back. Let's see what we've got.
Fear Realise. Hushed Psychic Mincer. Armitage Master Succession. Another one of those. I'll try to work out it. Regging of Right. Vanquish Soul Start. A New Fell's Recipe Book. Steel Stringed Sacrifice.
Okay.
And another Spring.
And then spring.
Two more packs.
For last.
Best pack for last. That's how it always is. Unless you're me, then I'll open best pack first. Sometimes. Gaia Stream Graceful Force. Archmage Vandalism. It might be best pack second last. Miasma Dragon Testina. Chef de Neufels. There you go. Gar Girl. There you go. That's a secret. I'm fairly certain. So you have saved for the best to last. Miracle Raven. Brio the Dawn Light. Psychic Omnibuster. And Moon Gardener.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's loads of loads of kind of hollows and stuff, but a secret.
Okay, and then last pack.
So there you go.
Last pack.
Lunar Light Masquerade, Heroic Champion Magnum Excalibur, Dark Fair Swordsman, Link Slayer at Ignister, Do Warrior, Moon Magician, Sudden Thunder Swamp, Regenesis Commands, and Psychic Omnibuster. If you hadn't have guessed the those ones, I think they're called the Omniotomy or something like that deck, Kuroku, have got new prints and support for this. Hence the going, hang on, how many times am I saying this? But yeah, So you got one secret. I'll probably sleeve that up later. Actually, I've got some spare sleeves there. I can just flick a sleeve onto it. You don't, we don't tend to sleeve anything hollow and below, but secrets and above, you just do it to keep them nice. So yeah, any last thoughts before we finish the video?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and I'd like to keep it up. I probably might not go to locals very often, but I certainly like to continue to learn different decks and to continue to play. I've really enjoyed the process of learning. I'm not saying I'm any good, I'm not, but I've enjoyed playing.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for doing that. It's been definitely different.
Yeah, I've
uh,
enjoyed it.
but no, but yeah, go out. If you're new to go to your locals, find out. People will be helpful and nice, and who knows, you might end up with some really nice pulls from your participation packs. No. So yeah, if you like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you next time.